You know, Valentine's Day is typically a source of misery for people everywhere. Why is that? I think it's because it's a reminder that people are single and they don't necessarily want to be. Now, I think you can actually turn this into a positive, and I'll tell you how. As you know, misery loves company, which means that there are a lot of single people out there looking to have fun on Valentine's Day rather than staying home. The good news is that you can take advantage of that fact by getting involved in one of the dozens, if not hundreds, of Valentine's Day parties going on in your area. Now, for me, I'm going to a private Valentine's Day party that will be loaded with single people, but in case you don't have access to any private parties in your area, here are a few options that you can take advantage of this Valentine's Day. First, head over to meetup.com and set up a free account there. Once you're logged in, look on the lower left of the screen and click on the link that says All Meetups in your city. For example, mine says All Meetups in Cambridge because I live in Cambridge, Massachusetts, which is just outside of Boston. Next, there's a tab at the top that says What's Happening This Week. Click on that. Next, click on the graphic for the day of the week that interests you and browse all the meetups that are happening on that day. What you'll discover is that there are a ton of singles parties and meetup events happening in your area, so you don't have to be alone on Valentine's Day if you don't want to be. Another option is to check out meetin.org. Now, I know a lot about meetin.org because I used to be the leader of the chapter in Providence, Rhode Island. So just head over to meetin.org, choose your local city, and then browse all of the events that are happening on Valentine's Day, or any other day of the week. I think you'll be surprised when you see how many interesting things are happening in your area that you didn't know about. Lastly, check Craigslist.org. When you get to the site, click on the events link up in the community section to see what's happening in your area. You might also want to click on groups in the community section as well, because there are a lot of singles groups that are having private events that you might be interested in. Now, these three sites are really handy if you live in a city like I do now, but I used to come from a town of only 20,000 people, and in that town, Craigslist and meetup.com and meetin.org didn't really have much of an effect in that area because there just weren't enough people doing things. So what do? Well, what I did is I used to check the Thursday edition of my local paper. Usually it has some kind of an insert that tells you all the cool things that are happening that week. Also, check your free alternative magazines. Those are those magazines that you see laying around in bookstores, coffee shops, and so on. They are loaded with lots of interesting, fun events for single people. I hope you find something fun to do on Valentine's Day. There really are a lot more options in your area than you might be aware of.